Hi FlossTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin and this is my channel Lady Robins. If you are new here, welcome. I am happy to have you joining me today, and if you're a returning friend and subscriber, welcome back. I'm happy to see you as well. In case you're interested, I am also on Instagram, same tag, Lady Robins, with a Y and an S, right? And I welcome you to follow me on Instagram as well. Okay, it has been a few weeks since we've been together. Today is Tuesday. It is the 9th of November, and this is my FlossTube number 95. So grab a beverage. I'm gonna grab my beverage, and I have a boatload of stuff on my counter to share with you. So let's get to it, because this could be a long one if I don't get going. Okay, where are we gonna start? I heard you say it, mug of the day. You are correct. Here we are. I used this one probably only a couple of floss tubes back. I am in Niagara Falls again. And as I told you last time, this is where my parents went on their honeymoon trip 94 years ago. So it's going to be a big one this June for them. I'm excited to think about 65 years of marriage for my parents, which is super fun. I think we're going to have a great big huge bash for them, don't you think? Better start planning now, right? Let's hope COVID is completely out of the picture, so we don't have to worry about who we can invite and how many people we can invite, because mom and dad deserve a great big huge whopping party, don't you think? All right, let's have some coffee. Yeah, nothing like a good cup of coffee. This is actually my second of the day, so I'll be flying around here, which is good because I have stuff that I need to get done, and a lot of it is centered around crafting, but not all cross stitch, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So I know I missed 2 floss tubes for sure, so this is going to be 3 weeks of stitching that I'm showing you, so let's get at it, shall we? First thing I want to do is show you an FFO. I fully finished and framed a Thanksgiving piece. So it has been hanging around forever, and I will scoop back so you can see it. This is Let Us Be Thankful, and this is a Bent Creek pattern. We all know I am a Bent Creek fan, my beloved Bent Creek. So I stitched this probably 2 years ago, and it has been hanging around. I finally put it on some foam core. I put batting on the foam core, and then I pinned it, and then my husband built me this frame out in the garage. One thing I don't understand, I think you can see it. You can see where all the pins are. I don't know if I pulled it too tight or not tight enough. I'm gonna stick it up on the wall, and I'm gonna enjoy it this year, and we'll see if I ever get around to fixing that. I might not. I might declare it is good enough. So that is my FFO. I'm really excited to get her done. I did not do a good job of measuring, so I don't know if you can see it, but I had to tape it. I didn't have enough fabric to lace it. And so I think that might be part of the reason we're seeing where the pins are, because I wasn't able to lace it and pull it tight. That's my guess. I had to do stitchery tape to get it in there, and I even used stitchery tape to put it in the frame. That's okay. Nobody's gonna see the back, right? So here we are, one last look at Let Us Be Thankful. On this, I've got to tell you, it was a fun stitch. I thoroughly enjoyed stitching this, and I only put on about half of the buttons. I bought the button pack when I bought the pattern years ago. Do you remember Spirit of Cross Stitch Festivals? A couple years ago, they tried to revive that, and for all I know, it's a thing again. But I went to one of the first or second Spirit of Cross Stitch festivals on the East Coast, and so I bought it as a kid. I only used half the buttons because there were so many beautiful, you know, the polymer clay buttons, but I felt like there were too many and it covered up my stitching. So I only used half. And I think it looks fantastic. I really like it. And I love the font in here. I just think I love everything about it. Well, can we just leave it at that? Okay, enough gushing over the piece, Robin. So after I got that FFO'd, I have had a couple of new starts since last we were together. And the first thing I want to show you is I started working on the hands-on design, the Philanthropic Pumpkin. I think this was a new start since last I saw you, or maybe I just started it the week before. I can't remember, but let's just pretend it's a new start in case it isn't, okay? Then can we make that bargain together? All right, so here I am on Phil the Pumpkin, and I'm having a really good time stitching this also. However, my back couldn't be neater because I am so worried that this being white fabric, that if I, you know, drag threads at all across the back, that you will see it on the front. So I am taking my time stitching this. This will probably be on display for, you know, 2 days before Thanksgiving because I am stopping and starting. I am anchoring everything, and I'm not pulling things across. I am being really super careful, but that's okay. It's stitching, right? And it's making me happy. I'm hoping to concentrate on this guy this week so I can get the stitching done. I'd love to get the stitching done on this, and then I can work on the FFOing. There is a huge packet in here telling you how to go about creating the pumpkin. So you know me, it takes me a while to kind of, you know, build up my courage to do something new. So this is completely new for me. So it might take me a little bit to decide to jump in. But there I am. That's where I am on the Philanthropic Pumpkin. I think there's a hashtag like Phil the Pumpkin on Instagram. I haven't really paid that much attention, but I think that's super funny. So anyway, there I am on Phil the Pumpkin. The other thing that I started was from a purchase. I told you I missed one of my Tuesdays because I went down to Portland with my girlfriend Lynn, and we went shopping at Acorns and Threads, our favorite cross-stitch store in Oregon. And what I picked up was this cute little book by JBW Designs, their Christmas ornament book. These are tiny, you guys. They're super sweet. And so what I have done is I have already started and finished, not fully finished, but I've started and finished 2 of the designs from that book. So this is the Noel heart. And then I think this one is called the Scandinavian heart. And then this one I'm stitching. I started this one the night before, so Sunday night. And this one is I think it's the Scandinavian mitten. This will look like the mitten. It will be, if I can spot it on the cover here, and I'll show you. Yeah, it's this one down here. So I just started that one little band up there, and then I got tired, and so I stopped. But I'm doing it in DMC Christmas Red 321. They had suggested a different red 304. Doesn't matter. Whatever they suggested, I wanted to bump my colors up a little bit, so I went with 321. And I mean, it couldn't be cuter. I mean, it's just reds and greens, you guys, and white. And I am doing this on a scrap of 32 count White Lugana that I had in my stash, and you can see it really is a scrap. I just spotted that and thought, well, that'll work up great. Now this is the only scrap of this that I've got, but I did find some 28 count antique white linen, some scraps of that, and I thought, well, if I want to do more of them, it doesn't matter if they're not identical, right? Because you'll scatter them on the tree and it'll be fine however they turn out. So I think maybe I'll do all the ones in red on the white and then do some of the green ones on the antique white, the 28 count. That's what I'm thinking right now. I think that'll work, don't you? Yeah, so that was one of my purchases down at Acorns and Threads, and I was really super happy to have spotted that book. I had seen, I think it was Chris Cross-Stitch. I think it was Chris Cross-Stitch had one of those JBW ornament books as well, and he was showing his cute little stitches. So when I spotted that down at Acorns, I thought, aha, I'm gonna copy Chris. So that's what I did, and I think they're turning out super sweet. I am probably not going to go crazy and make the decorative shapes like the mitten shape or the heart shape. I think I'm just gonna, you know, either put them on blocks or you know, rectangles or squares, and just kind of do a, you know, a flat fold and then put cording around it. That'll be good enough for me. I don't think the effort that I would put into creating those fancy shapes is going to allow me to get them all finished in time to have them up on my Christmas tree. So I need to do something a little bit simpler. So I'm going to do that. Now I do also have, beyond these two finishes, I have another ornament finish that I wanted to show you. And this is also hands-on design, and this is her chalkboard ornaments. And well, when last we were together, I had finished Silent Night. I'm going to show that to you again. So that's also in my bag of things to finish. I mean, FFO, fully finished, right? And then I finished the stitching on Silver Bells. So yay, I got that done. And what was interesting, you guys, when I got Silver Bells done, I had missed that there is a line of red back stitching on the inside of that white border. And so I thought, well, that's funny. I wonder why they wouldn't have done that on Silent Night. Yeah. Go look at the pattern, Robin. Yes, Kathy did put that. So this actually was not a finished object when I showed it to you and declared it was, because I missed that red back stitching. So I went in and now they are both fully finished. So I've got those two also to FFO, and then I am trying to decide if I'm going to stitch the third one, Sugar Plums. Super cute, and I do have more of, I think this is 28 count navy linen. Is it 28 count? Yeah, we got the tag from Acorns, 28 count. So I've got enough fabric to do the third one, so I think I'll do it. Why not? Get them all done, and then just like I was talking about the finishing on the JBW ornaments, I mean, these are, you know, this is pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, you know, cut a very simple shape. I don't know if it shows well in the pattern, but they've got cording around the outside. That's what I'm going to do on mine. And then of course, some sort of little hanger. And this was super cute. They included the holly leaves and the red buttons for the finishing. So why not? I've got it, so I'm going to use it. So that is more Christmas ornaments that I will be working on coming up here. I want to get as many ornaments done as possible. If you're brand new here, you probably haven't heard me talk about the fact that my husband bought me a pencil tree, which is, you know, a super skinny artificial Christmas tree that I'm going to put in my family room. And I told him that if he bought me the pencil tree, I wanted to fill it with cross-stitch ornaments. Well, at this point, I only have 4 fully finished cross-stitch ornaments. So I am stitching like a crazy woman to try to get some more ornaments for that tree, because I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be fine because I've got a whole year. Just like in school, I work better with a deadline when I'm like hysterical. Yeah. Not good, Robin. Okay, so what else did I stitch on in the weeks that we weren't together? I got a good, no, not that, this one. I got the Good Company stitched up, except for the grass. So let me show you. I have got this finished, and I'm having problems with the year up here on the chart. Let me show you that. They charted the year, so obviously I do 2021. However, when I stitched it, this is all stitched. This is on, is this 36 count? Yeah, 36 count vintage country Mocha. So I'm stitching it with all the called for floss. I'm stitching it 1/2. When I put the year up here, stitching it in the, I don't know what it is, Raven or something, Blackbird. I think it's Blackbird. That's what it is. 1/2. You couldn't even tell it was a 2, at least the way I stitched it. It just looked like a mess. So I thought, okay, that's it. I'm gonna go and do I'm gonna do 2 strands of floss instead of the 1. So that's this. Okay, all I can see when I look at this is that 20. That's all I see. I don't see the house, I don't see the fox, I don't see the cute birds. So that's not working for me either. What I might, well, I'm definitely going to pull that out, and I might just put another acorn up there to kind of fill in that space, and then just, you know, put my year and initials like I do on the piece down on the bottom, and just leave that off, because no matter what I'm doing, it's all I see. And I don't want that to be all I see. I want to see the house. I want to see the beautiful flowers and leaves, and I definitely want to see that adorable fox. So that's where I'm at on that. Oh, and then you guys, I was going to tell you, where is it? I got my latest copy of Just Cross Stitch, and it's of course the December issue. But what I noticed, and I look at this all the time and I flip by it, I noticed in the back, in every issue, they have stitching instructions. And I still need to do the grass on the bottom, and I was thinking of doing maybe Smyrna crosses. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to look up how to do those because it's been 100 years, right? If you need it, it's in the back of Just Cross Stitch. I thought that was so fantastic. It was like the universal line, and it's like, here it is, go do your Smyrna crosses for the grass. So I have set this aside with my Good Company stitch so that I have the diagram of how to stitch those things up. So that's the next thing I need to do, is I need to fix the date on the top of the piece and then get to working on the grass. So I'm super close to a finish on this. I am very excited about my progress on that guy. So there's that. And then, so I worked on the ornaments, I worked on the pumpkin, I worked on Good Company. what else did I work on? Oh, I worked on my Satsuma Street Noel Mystery Sampler. Where is that? Must be out in the living room. I'll be right back. Yep, it was out in the living room. So, in case you aren't following people on Instagram that are stitching this, this is a mystery sampler by Satsuma Street, and she's actually released part 3. I just printed that out the other day, but here's parts 1 and 2, and she's releasing them every 2 weeks, and I'm so behind. I thought I could keep up. I cannot keep up. I don't have that much stitching time, and plus I have other things that I want to finish for, like Fill the Pumpkin for Thanksgiving, so it's not going to get done in time for Christmas, but that's okay. There's more Christmases, right? Isn't a good thing about Christmas is it shows up every year on December 25th. But let me show you where I got to, because I am really enjoying my stitching on this, because the colors that she picks are so vibrant and so pretty. So this is where I'm at. I have done 2 of I've completed 2 of the squares completely. I was working down here. Now this down here is going to be a candy cane. So this has got lots of stopping and starting to create those stripes. So last night when I was getting towards the end of my stitching, I thought I'm just going to work on creating the grid. So that's what I did, as I went through and started working on the grid for part 2, because I didn't want to make a mistake with the stripes on that one. So anyway, I'm getting there. It'll be a multi-year project, but that's okay. But what I thought of last night while I was stitching this, because my 25/7 stitching has been the ornaments, and I thought, well, WIPCO numbers were called, and my WIPCO numbers were 14 and 16, which for me is a Christmas piece, home for the holiday. I'll show that to you in a minute. And then seasonal smalls, which is the ornaments, right? So I have moved the ornaments out of my 25/7 slot, because I'm just stitching on them like crazy, right? Which meant I haven't been doing 25/7 because I couldn't decide what I wanted to do for 25/7. Well, I figured it out. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the Noel Mystery Sampler as my 25/7 stitching. So that's my plan. And the nice thing about these pieces is there's lots of places where you've got big blocks of color. So you can sit there and do big areas without having to change color. So I think I'll get quite a bit of progress on this if I use this as my 25/7 stitching. Oh, and you guys, I did have somebody comment on my video, and they were wondering if there is like a Facebook group or a hashtag for 25/7 stitching. As far as I know, there is not. I don't even know, who came up with the idea, which, because it's kind of brilliant, right? So if you want to come up with a hashtag, come up with a hashtag. I'll jump on it with you. And I did look to see if 25-7, 25/7. I did as many, modifications of that as I could think of, and I really don't see a hashtag, so let's come up with one together. That'd be fun, and then we can watch each other's progress and cheer each other on as we get things completed. Okay, so I told you one of my WIPCOs, the other one that was called was Home for the Holidays, and I just think it's hysterical that this has been on my WIPCO board all year long, and it was, it's called the month before December, but this is such a sweet little piece. This is by 4 Boys and an NL Girl Designs. I bought this last year on her, I think it was her her Etsy shop, I think so. Anyway, it's called Home for the Holidays, and I did not get very far, but that's okay. I got the word home stitched. That's as far as I got last year. I just got that. And so I'm really looking forward to, you know, getting into the house, getting into the snowman. I am absolutely looking forward to stitching on this because I think that's a sweet little piece. I didn't change the colors. I went for all the called for color, and then I just pulled a linen out of my stash because why not, right? And so this is Peanut. This is from Bestitch Me, and this is a 32 count. So 2 over 2, of course, 32 count on Bestitch Me Peanut, and I think it's going to be super sweet. I don't know what else to say about it except I'm looking forward to spending 5 days stitching on this to complete my Whip Go goals. And here are the called for flosses, all DMCs. And I really like this color palette. I mean, look at that kind of steely blue in there. And I love this orangey red. I just thoroughly enjoyed this design when it came out. So we'll have some good time stitching on that. Because I've been working on the ornaments, I've actually already finished my Whip Go goal, which is always 5 days of stitching on, you know, whatever is called in the box. So I'm already done with Whip Go for the first bit, so I can transition over to the other one when I'm ready for a change. But right now, I'm very motivated to keep stitching those ornaments. Let's see, what else do we have to talk about? Haul. Should we talk about haul? There has been excessive spending lately. I don't know what got into me. And the first thing I want to show you is my sweatshirt. This was one of my purchases. I purchased a friend stitch sweatshirt, which makes me really happy. I think this is such a cute design. I love their logo, and I was thrilled that they put their items up for sale. So I purchased myself a nice gray friend stitch sweatshirt, and it's super comfy. You know how a new sweatshirt always feels good. It's also fuzzy inside. Yep. So that was my first purchase. The next thing I'm going to show you is right over there. It's my bag from Acorns and Threads with what I came home with last week. So let me grab that. Okay, so here's my Acorns and Threads bag. I take it down, and if you buy their bag, you actually get a little bit of a discount. And I don't remember what it is. It might be 10%, something like that. Anyway, you know, don't quote me because I could be completely wrong. All right, let me dig into my bag and drag out all of my treasures. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm actually slightly embarrassed. Yeah, this is I'm gonna have to live to be 300 to get all this stitching done. All right, so one of the things that I purchased, and this was not at Acorns, but this was off of Mama Loves You GB's website. I purchased the Nessie Mitchell chart. I think this is adorable, and I was all set to start doing black sampler November, and I bought my black sulky. I bought linen. what I've decided is I love this chart, and I absolutely want to stitch it, but not today. I have too much stuff started. It's starting to bother me. So I'm gonna put the brakes on Nessie Mitchell until maybe this will be my New Year's start, if I get a few things finished, like good company. So I did purchase this chart on Etsy. I purchased my sulky. I'm ready to go. I'm just not gonna start. So that is my first bit of purchasing. I did pick up the Needle Workers Book of Days for 2022. I am looking forward to tracking my stitching in this. I think this will be fun. And I did buy one of those sticker books off of Amazon. More purchasing. So I'm gonna try that. Now, 2 charts and things. I picked up, I haven't done one of these in a million years. I picked up a little Mill Hill kit, and there's, gosh, I think there's 5 others in this series, and I think this will be super sweet on my Christmas tree. It will not be done in time for this year's tree, maybe next year's tree, but I'm looking forward to doing this. It's been a long time since I've done any beading, so I picked up that. I picked up a couple of button packs for Shepherd's Bush. One is for, what is it? The Busy Notes, and the other one is for Summer Notes, because I do want to get more of the Shepherd Bush notes items done, and I have the patterns, so I picked those up. I did pick up Silver Creek Samplers Love You to Death. Now, I'm totally doing this for my husband. It's a secret, so don't tell. And our 25th wedding anniversary is next year in April. And so I want to present him with a finished stitch for our anniversary. So this is going to get started sooner rather than later, because I have an actual honest to goodness, you know, due date. So I picked this up. I'm totally looking forward to doing that. Then I picked up all sorts of nonsense, and I love it all. I picked up the latest kind of booklet by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. It's kind of the winter Christmas, the snowball booklet, and there are just so many adorable things in here. And I really like the fact that they're winter, so they can be up long past Christmas. So this is like the first one I want to stitch. So I picked up that. I also picked up a cup of Christmas cheer, which I think couldn't be cuter. Yep, love that. I also picked up, this will be for next year, I picked up the Cottage Garden Samplings, October 31st. I love that crow standing on that pumpkin. So I got that. I keep picking up the berry patterns. I have yet to do a berry. But I'm really intrigued. So I have picked up yet another Erica Michaels berry pattern. Maybe next year, right? This I love. When Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch showed her finish of this, Wildflowers by the Blue Flower, I knew that I had to do this. I am absolutely going to have to do this. And I think somebody, it might even have been Elizabeth Ann, converted it to silks, and I'm thinking about maybe dipping my toe into silks on this one, because this is so gorgeous. I love everything about it. So there's that. And then the last thing that I picked up is Red Bird Sampler, again by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. I adore this. You guys, if you have watched me for any amount of time, you know I am not a big sampler stitcher. That's not my thing. These colors, this blue with the red, it just pushes all my buttons. I love everything about it. I am so looking forward to stitching this. Who knows, this might be a birthday start. My birthday's in February, so maybe I will do Redbird Sampler as my birthday start. So that is what I purchased at Acorns. There was a little bit of purchasing online beyond the Etsy. I also picked up Ye Olde Crow from Heart and Hand. I was watching Stacy the 911 Stitcher, and she was saying this was her first sampler. I just loved it. It's just so cute, and it goes with the October 31st crow that I picked up. So I couldn't find this. I was having a really hard time finding this, but Everything Cross Stitch had it, and because things can't travel by themselves, I also picked up the Abstract Christmas Tree, which I think is absolutely stunning. I love those colors. I love that design, that kind of swirly abstract tree. So these two things came from Everything Cross Stitch, which I don't shop from all that often, and they have great stuff, so I don't know why I don't. The other thing that showed up was my Fabric of the Month from Jodi, and these are my two colors. So, and these are 32 count linen, and I am looking forward to stitching something great on these. These scream berries to me, right? These little pieces could become really cute berries. Also, when I was down at Acorns, I picked up some neutrals, and I think these are all 32 count. Yep, they're all 32 count. So I gotta tell you, I was watching Stephanie Webb was interviewed by Becca of Zambri Stitches. I think I watched it last weekend, and I just loved that Steph said, I stitched on 32 count. I do 2 over 2. That's my happy place. It's not very fancy, but that's what rings my bell, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I thought, you know what? That's kind of my jam too. I'm trying to stitch things on 32 count, 36 count. I haven't braved the 40 count yet, but I like that she gave herself permission to just do what makes her happy. And I thought, you know what? 32 count is what makes me happy. And 2 over 2, I don't have all that much problem with my, threads twisting. So I think I totally embraced her, permission to be a 32 count stitcher. And so I'm happy with that. So if you need permission to like what you like, there you go. Like what you like, people. Okay, that's my haul. There's one other piece of haul that showed up yesterday, and it was another thing where I was like, oh, I can open a thing without filming it. I can just tear into it because I'm not a rep. So I got my latest Black Needle Society resolution stitching box. I have opened it. I have touched all the things. This box I liked. We know that I didn't really like my my Trick or Treat Halloween box. That was not my thing. This box was my thing. So if you have not gotten your resolution stitching box from the Black Needle Society and you don't want to see what's in it, look away. Fast forward, end me now, I'll see you later, because I'm going to show you what's in here because I liked it. I really liked it. All right, so of course you get your spoiler card with a cute little letter from the ladies. And the things that were in here were great. They started off by saying that they like to plan out what they're going to stitch in the new year. And so they have included a stitching journal and planner that they designed. I have not taken the paper off it yet to look at it, but I'm intrigued. I think that is a really smart idea. They also included some project tracker cards. So I've seen other floss tubers use these, and so they just stick it in with their project, and then they just circle the date that they stitched on the thing. That's smart, right? So I enjoyed that. Now, about a year, maybe 2 years ago, I was in one of those stitching challenge groups where you had to count your stitches and then post on the Facebook group. They included a stitching, you know, a tracker where you click the button for every stitch you push. I've got these all over my house. I have since stopped doing that because it was actually making me anxious, but I'm like, that's smart. I liked that they included that. They also included some really cute stitching themed stickers, which I think I'm going to put in my book of days. So I'm looking forward to that. There is also a stitching challenge deck. There's 52 cards in here, and each of them has a challenge. So you could use one a week if you wanted to. Okay, I'll look at that. They gave us a New Year's wish sparkler, which I think is hysterical. That is very clever. I liked that. We, of course, got floss. And this is from Forbidden Fiber Co. And this is called River of Life. And it's a pretty big hunk of floss. And it says it's approximately 46 yards. That's a lot of floss. We also got a pattern, and I am really excited about this pattern. It is from Modern Folk Embroidery, and it is called The River. Look at that. Isn't that neat? I really like that. So, and then the last thing that we got was a needle minder, and I've already put it on my needle minder board behind us. So that's what came in the latest Black Needle Society box. I loved it. I loved it. This was up my alley. I think those were really well chosen items. So there you go. What am I gonna do next? You know that I hardly ever do giveaways, but I've got some items that weren't my thing from the Black Needle Society Halloween box. So I thought I would share with you. The first thing that I'm gonna share in a giveaway is some fabric. Now this is an 18 count Aida. It is kind of, it looks like blood splatter. It says custom printed Stitch Life 18 by 14 18 count Aida. So if you would like the Aida, I'm just going to have you put the number, the numeral 1 in your comment that you would like the fabric. Now, don't forget, for this, do not use the word giveaway in the comments. You need to be 18, you need to be a subscriber, and you need to use the number 1, and I'll include the cute bag, okay? The other thing that I'm going to give away is a pattern, and it's super cute. It's just not my thing. I would never stitch it. I would never put it on my wall, but maybe you would. And so I am going to give away Hildy's Chupacabra Campout. So if you would like this pattern, use the number 2 in your comment, and then you will be entered to win the pattern. So we've got fabric number 1, pattern number 2. So feel free to enter for both, but you'll only win one. I have a Google form linked in my show notes. Please, if you want these items, enter your name and address, your mailing address, in the form, make sure that somehow if your name is different than what your your handle is on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, that you make a note of that so I can, put the two of you together. If you're not, if your mailing information is not in the Google form, then I can't get it to you. So make sure you fill that out. And you guys, that's pretty much it. This is a super long one because I've been gone so long. My plans are very, very simple for myself. I'm gonna get back on the 25/7 stitching, gonna work on Fill the Pumpkin, going to keep stitching ornaments, and I'm gonna start stitching on Home for the holidays. That's my plans. You guys have a great day. I will see you later. Stitch happy, my friends. Okay,